Following up the previous chapter, we get more of a focus on the situation with Big Mom, as well as the status of Sanji, Zoro, and Law, plus the Scabbard's, battle plans going forward. Now, this is my review for One Piece Manga Chapter 1012, titled Itch. Despite the rather simple title of the chapter, we only get two references to it in the form of Kiku and Izo discussing the loss of Kiku's arm, and Momo admitting it's extremely clear that Yamato is itching to fight Kaido. And as we focus on the Scabbards, we get Kinemon deciding the plan of action to fully split up and go where each Scabbard is needed most, with himself and Kiku headed towards Momo to intercept Kanjuro. Now Nekomamushi only just reunites with Shishiline and Baratie, only to just now learn of Pedro's demise. And considering the timeline of things, it makes perfect sense considering that the moment he got to Wano, he just immediately jumped straight into battle, so there wasn't really a lot of time to discuss stuff like Pedro and stuff that wasn't directly tied to Onigashima. Also, we get confirmation that Momo is an observation haki user, similar to Aisa from Skypiea, if you guys remember. I hope I pronounced her name right, but it's actually pretty neat. They use the terminology voices to kind of draw that connection. Not like voices and all things, like the voices that is kind of used to describe haki, especially back in the Skypiea era, where that's when it was prominently introduced in that fashion. And, this is all before Yamato runs off to go find Kaido and Luffy before leaving Momo in order to read the whole journal that his father left behind for him, which is nice. And we got Shinobu peeking through her hands as Momo starts to read. So the next scene we get Law pawning off Zoro onto Sanji, and the main takeaway I want to make is not the fact that Sanji's pissed that he didn't catch girls in the air. It's the fact that the time passed between Sanji catching Law and Zoro and him, walking around with Zoro as a frigging mummy it's been a couple dozen minutes, ergo anywhere between 24 to 36, even 48 possibly, minutes that Luffy has been alone on the rooftop with Kaido 1v1, which goes a lot to show that Luffy really has gone to that level needed to really take on an emperor, which is great because it needs to be done. That's kind of the point of having Kaido as one of the villains. You just got to get his ass beat, or the main villain at the very least needs to get his ass beat. Oh, except for back in Whole Cake Island, Katakuri kind of took that role despite not being the main villain. But I digress. At the very least, we do get to see that some of the Scabbards, including Izo, have united with Zoro and Sanji, Zoro is completely out of it for the most part, aside from letting everyone know, hey, the performance floor might be the best place to go, although a lot shorter because it's like performance floor, and then he just falls the fuck back to sleep, which is honestly hysterical, but that means they're going to probably meet up with Chopper and Marco and the others, which is good because that's probably where they're needed. There's not a lot of areas to spread out right now. There's kind of just the performance floor area. There's Big Mom's, Battle Royale. That's the next scene that we're focusing on. And then we have, just Frankie versus... Actually, no, we have Frankie versus... how am I forgetting all the names of the Sasaki? Frankie versus Sasaki. And then we have Who's Who versus Jinbei. Aside from that, everything else is kind of just in those areas. No, we got Black Maria versus Robin and Brooke as well. So everything's basically just performance floor and then each of the areas where the remaining Flying Six headliners are. So there's not a lot to spread out, technically speaking. Or really, not really technical. And we also have the Scabbards fights that are slowly going on. So it is spreading out a little bit, and the Scabbards are helping for the most part, but it is a long and gruesome process. Just huge sprawled out battle. But I digress. Getting back into, say, the Big Mom Battle Royale, we now have, Page One is basically twitching in the floor. He's probably not dead, but he's not getting up. Which is good, because if Big Mom couldn't take Page One out in one hit with Conqueror's Haki, then how could the rest of the, Topi Robo be even reasonably or realistically taken out by any other member of the Straw Hats if an Emperor can't? So, yeah, he needed to stay down. And that's kind of a general consensus. Now, Ulti, on the other hand, she's going in, but not against Big Mom first. I mean, that's her primary goal, seemingly. But she's not losing track of her original goal of knocking the fuck out of Nami and Usopp and Tama and Komachio. And she one-shots Komachio, unfortunately. She just zip-zaps around like she's Bellamy in, Jaya, and actually successfully takes him out before attacking Tama. Now, before this point, Big Mom kind of made it clear that her priority was Page One and Ulti, but she was very much still in the mindset of knocking the fuck out of Nami and Usopp afterwards. But she at least knew to put them aside for the time being. Her pride, her rage for Okabore Town took absolute precedence, which is great. We want that to take precedence if we want any sort of redemption arc for her. And if you guys didn't watch the video of, my thing about Big Mom's redemption, that'll be up in the card up. I'm assuming it's in this corner. Is it this corner? It'll be a card for that video. Please show support for that one. That took a lot of effort. But once again, I digress. Big Mom, she has put aside enough of her gripes with the Straw Hats for the time being, for Tama's sake. And maybe that'll go even farther, because once Ulti knocks the shit out of Tama, oh my god, Tama's getting mauled like a motherfucker this entire arc. She gets mauled by Kaido, now she gets mauled by Ulti, but I wonder which one was worse. She's a tank for a little kid, actually, now I think about it. How the fuck did she survive getting mauled by Kaido? That still doesn't make any sense on one hand, but she was necessary for this current state of, story, so it doesn't matter in the long run of things. But and I know she will be fine. She's not down for the count from getting attacked by Ulti. If she can survive Kaido, she can survive Ulti. Technically. But Big Mom's furious. But not as furious as Nami. Ulti's just staring down Big Mom like, what you gonna do about it, bitch? You knocked down my brother, I knocked down that little kid you're fond of. What now, bitch? And then bam! Nami just like, Usopp, I know we're supposed to run, but I am not letting this bitch get away with hitting a kid. I'm gonna crush her. And Big Mom's just right there. Now, we don't see Big Mom's direct expression to all of this, but hopefully this will go some ways into leaving some sort of at least neutral stance between Nami and Big Mom going forward, or at least for the time being, because even if she does have a better view of, say, Nami, she probably still hates Straw Hats. So it's kind of like, she's like, oh, can I do this? Can I do that? She's going to have to be in the middle ground at some point in order to not be that big of a threat when, leave Kaido as the main big threat. Nonetheless, Nami MVP. It's just hands down. I mean, what are you going to do about it, right? Now, in conclusion, though, I really do think this chapter went a great way into further showing some sort of endgame for Big Mom and really pulling us back to the fight between Nami and Page One and Ulti and Usopp. Even though Page One's out of the equation, Ulti's not. Now that it's not 2v1, technically speaking, ignoring Big Mom for a second, Usopp and Nami do have a better chance against Ulti, especially after she just landed a decent clean hit on her when she wasn't paying any attention. But nonetheless, it's still going to be a rough fight, and Big Mom is still there. What's Big Mom gonna do? Is she gonna attack the Straw Hats? Is she gonna attack Ulti? Like, is Big Mom just gonna stand there? We'll have to wait until next chapter to find out. And luckily, there is no break. So, yay. But tell me what you guys thought of this chapter down in the comments below. And if it wasn't obvious at this point, I'm trying something new. Face cam. And I got a nice custom-made One Piece shirt. My brother does shoe designs and shirt designs. So I visited his shop and I got this. So I'm a proud older brother using his product to, you know, show off what I'm speaking about. One Piece, baby. Which is great. But if you did like this new type of video, I'll try and go back and forth on it a little bit. It kind of will save some of the editing time now that I got the lighting mostly down. I think I got most of the glare out of my glasses for the most part. But we'll see. And maybe with this type of setup, we'll have, you know, more freeform videos that won't require as much imaging, and maybe we'll try some podcast related stuff. You guys can, you know, subscribe, turn on the bell notification if you want to stay tuned for that type of stuff, if you're not already. So, I've been Small as a Black Knight, anime and manga. Until next time, stay safe. I gotta come up with a better sign off, like, stay safe, stay safe. No, I'm not flipping you guys off. I love you guys. Thank you.